So I think you already know what this video is going to be about. And let's just say for every Street Fighter fans that is watching this video, I think you will know that a few days ago or a few hours ago today, they came out with an article talking about this very big project that is based on the iconic franchise of Street Fighter. And I think a lot of us are going to be really excited about this project when it comes out, and that's really saying something. We just want, if you see a film that comes out by us, to know that we put 100% into it and that it's ours. And that's not like we're jumping into something for a paycheck or something like that. Michael went on to explain, addressing how they have a great passion for Street Fighter. We want to make stuff that we're really passionate about and put everything into it. That's what we want. So we've been offered stuff, but it's like you want to stick with stuff that you know you're going to want to be dedicated to doing for the next few years. And putting your all into it. That is what I agree the most, because anytime when Hollywood or any type of industry that makes stuff, that adapts stuff from another series, like Power Rangers is adapting Super Sentai from that certain series, from that certain season, and making it into their own, even though they're using 99% of Japanese stock footage, but using American voice actors in it. And it's just like you're adapting Mortal Kombat or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you're adapting the 1984 comics and making it into a 1990s movie with mixed elements, the comics and TV shows and all of that. No, actually, from the comics to the 1987 TV show, you mix all of that into one film, you created magic. So, to me, that is exactly how I feel about Street Fighter, because it is one of the most beloved franchises in history. It came way before Mortal Kombat. Before Mortal Kombat wasn't even a thing. But you have to remember, Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat had a rivalry back in the 90s because both fighting game franchises had its unique and charm and flavor to it. So when it comes to Street Fighter, it was in its own thing. But I think with the first movie they came out in 1994, they completely dropped the ball on it. It wasn't even about Street Fighter. The characters weren't even the characters that we recognize from the games. And that's the sad part. So you shouldn't be fearing that this reboot is going to be just like the 1994 movie. With the right people, with the right direction, I think this movie is gonna blow some people away. If not, then you might as well just cancel it. But this is interesting, so let's continue. We've got signed on to develop Street Fighter, which has an amazing lore, characters, and world. But then we have so many original ideas, Michael explained. Of the creative freedom they'll have with the project Danny added, with Street Fighter Legendary, it appears that they're going to let us take control and really do our thing with it. It's very exciting. And so it's just about negotiating how many cooks are going to be in the kitchen and how much freedom we're going to have. That is my favorite part about this article, because they're gonna have so much freedom of creating their own version of Street Fighter, which I know some fans are doing a good job at doing certain things than the companies do, but most of the time they just come off as cringe, especially Twitter of all places, which is the most toxic app ever, full of toxicity and fans thinking that they're better with companies. Well, fans thinking that they're better than companies, but they're not. And in certain cases, I've seen some very good Street Fighter fan films on YouTube that are way better than the one that came out in '94, which focused on the lore, on the characters, and it made a lot of sense. Like, take Street Fighter Assassin's Fist, for example. That fan film which had a Blu-ray DVD, which is I'm shocked that it happened because usually YouTube short films don't really come out on DVD. You usually see that on Tubi or on other streaming service apps and all of that. But it really goes to show you that if you look at those type of fan films and you think to yourself, can you just imagine doing your own version of Street Fighter if you took elements from that fan film and making it into something incredible but unique? Even if it's like a big budget or a small budget, because low budget movies I've seen, they do way good than the big budget stuff. Big budget films, sometimes they do good, but most of it don't really do so well because of the writing and the practical effects in films. But I'm not saying that this Street Fighter reboot is going to be like that. I'm specifically saying that if you put in the money into this reboot, there's a possibility that people are going to appreciate your creativity even more. So it's the fact that they're saying that they're going to try to come up with some original ideas, even though they've stated they've studied the lore of the games of the franchise, but they're gonna use their own ideas to even come up with a unique Street Fighter movie. Because based on what I read, it sounds like it's gonna be based off the 1987 arcade game. If that's the case, I'm with it, because you need to start from the very beginning instead of like having a continuation that is based off of your current Street Fighter 6 game. If you want to make a reboot, go way back to 1987. And then from then on, once you've done that, you can change certain things but make it more gritty and more violent, but don't go over the top. You know what I'm saying? If you do that, then you can make your other sequels that is based on the Street Fighter 2 or Alpha or any other versions of Street Fighter. So if you create your own ideas of Street Fighter, I can only imagine how everybody on Twitter and social media is going to react of the first casting of Ryu and Ken and the characters from the very first Street Fighter game to be in the film. I believe this whole thing is going to work. If you give it time and years, anything is possible. So let me know what y'all thoughts are in the comments down below, and I'm gonna holler at you in my next one.